Hello, everyone. This is Brady Pelzer, Executive Vice President of Exclusive Planning Group, as well as Exclusive Annuities. Hope you're having a great day. Want to hop on here, discuss very briefly Roth conversions. Are they right for you? If so, what vehicle should I utilize to convert funds from a traditional IRA chassis to a Roth chassis? We'll cover all of that here. First and foremost, do want to start with the question, are Roth conversions right for me? To answer that question, if you are asking yourself that question, ask yourself, out of these three critical times to consider Roth conversions, are these events occurring in the landscape today? The first time to consider, or critical time to consider, doing a Roth conversion strategy would be when income tax brackets are historically low. Presently, we are in a historically low federal income tax bracket. Great time. That one certainly checks the box. Second time to consider doing Roth conversions or implementing a Roth conversion strategy is when your personal income tax bracket is low. Oftentimes, when individuals are retiring, entering retirement, they are taking a significant income decrease, entering retirement, thus pushing you into a lower income tax bracket, giving us a little bit more breathing room to make those conversions. The third time to consider doing Roth conversions, implementing a Roth conversion strategy in your plan is when the stock market is low. Although presently the stock market isn't low at face value, there are certainly murmurs. You hear any money channel you turn on, CNBC, the market is overvalued. That in addition to the Fed Reserve announcing interest rate decreases, generally yields, equity yields, and interest rates are correlated. If interest rates decrease, generally equity yields also decrease. Those three times are important to consider a Roth conversion strategy. In the given time, given your circumstance, and a lot of the retirees that we're meeting with, it's check, check, check across the board for those three boxes. If so, what exactly is a Roth conversion strategy? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here very briefly. This is a real life example of a couple we work with out of the state of Massachusetts. In this example, Massachusetts, they have a $180,000 household income, W-2. And here we're looking to convert $1 million from a traditional IRA chassis to a Roth chassis. So with that $180,000 W-2 income in place, if we're converting $150,000, again, back up a little bit, each of these line items are an individual year. You see the first row is referencing 2024, second row, 2025 and onward. If the client converts 150,000 out of the $1 million asset, we would have 850,000 remaining in IRA funds and 150,000 in our Roth chassis. Second year, 700,000 remaining in IRA funds, 300,000 now in Roth funds. I want you to pay attention to the out-of-pocket federal taxes that are due based on this conversion. You'll see an increase for the same conversion between 2025 and 2026. This is a reason why Roth conversions has been such a hot button topic as of late. If we pull up this graphic for ourselves, this is the projected 2026 income tax rates, showing the difference between 2024 and 2026 for single taxpayers. Single taxpayers, 191,950 would be our theoretical threshold. That is the top of the 24% bracket. Anytime we're conducting Roth conversions, we like to remain in the 24% bracket. That would be our target bracket. Every now and then, it is appropriate to dip our toe in the 32% bracket, given it is a progressive tax system. However, that is very rare. Generally, in most circumstances, we are remaining in the 24% bracket for single filers. The threshold is 191,950. For joint filers, double that. The threshold is 383,900 for the 24% bracket. On the right-hand side is the 2026 bracket as already announced. In 2026, what we presently know as the 24% bracket will turn into the 28% tax bracket. And as you can see, the 22% bracket turns to the 25%. And so we're going to be paying more in taxes in 2026. Very strong idea to convert those funds over while we are in a smaller income tax threshold. Now, if we go back to the example, we have our first example. This is a couple filing jointly. And so given our $180,000 W-2, our $150,000 conversion, that runs our end of the year AGI up to $330,000. Anytime we do one of these models, we like to build margin into what we're presenting. And so you'll say to yourself, 330 is far short of the 383 threshold. That's meant to occur. We're building insulation into these models. In a real life scenario, all holds true. We meet at the table at the end of this year, 2024, and odds are we're going to be converting a larger sum than this 150, given we have the room to do so. Now, if we look at a single filer, this example, a single filer out of the state of Texas, no income tax in Texas. However, our threshold is different given that it's a single filer. 191,950 would be our theoretical threshold, our threshold for the 24% tax bracket. In this example also, client 2 does not have as much non-qualified funding as client 1, not as much funds in the bank or a non-qualified brokerage account. And so as part of this distribution, we are also distributing from the remaining IRA monies outside of the conversion chassis to pay for the taxes. And so in this instance, all we're receiving is Social Security, roughly $37,200 a year from Social Security. Only 85% of your Social Security income is taxable at the federal level, giving us a $31,620 taxable Social Security income. Factor that into the model with a $100,000 conversion and $50,000 that the client is taking out of his remaining IRA monies to fund this column, the out-of-pocket tax expense. And we have a very similar result. Although we're converting less, $500,000 and only $100,000 a year, we're paying the same amount in federal taxes on this conversion as the prior example, or roughly so, because we are taking the $50,000 a year out to fund the taxes. And so in an applicable scenario, the client receives $250,000, excuse me on that, going back to this model, receives $250,000, pulls $250,000 of their IRA monies to pay for all of the taxes. Each year, the client would have roughly $10,000 remaining based on this pull. Again, another example, each year we would go in. If the client didn't need excess funds, we wouldn't necessarily pull the $50,000. We would pull closer to $35,000 based on the tax bill and not needing excess funds. However, again, we're building in insulation into the model to cover for any unforeseen circumstances. But again, 250,000, the client is pulling out to pay a little over 200,000 in their tax liability, all while converting 500,000 of their dollars. And what results at the end of the day, once this interest is credited, again, on this specific product that our group exclusive likes to utilize for Roth conversions, there is no interest crediting in the meantime. All of the interest is loading until the end of the 7th year. Not advantageous in most circumstances. However, in a Roth conversion, it is advantageous given this figure. If we're in an account where it's going up and down, we're either going to pay more in taxes as a byproduct of earning interest within the account and converting that additional interest over, or we'll pay less in taxes as a byproduct of losing interest in the account and not having to pay as much upon or converting as much and paying as much in conversions. But again, all of these earnings are loading. And then at the end of the 7th year, as long as we get all of these funds converted over, the interest is crediting tax free. In this real life example, this is pulled from historical data, the most recent 7-year period. In this example, the client would pay a little over $200,000 in taxes to create $848,000 in tax-free interest. Total account value, a tax-free Roth asset of $1.348 million. So I hope this helps identify if Roth conversions might be a consideration for you. If they are, and you want to have a conversation with us at Exclusive, we're more than happy. We can't wait to get together. In the bio, there is a booking page. Click the link. Go ahead, booking up your strategy review session today. Again, we can't wait to get acquainted with you, help you along in your retirement pathway. We'll talk to you soon.